Part 66. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 651. The God Realm, Angel Realm, and Demon Realm have existed for an unknown period of time. The people in the God Realm are weak in combat power, but they win in numbers. The angels and demons are very powerful, but they have been killing each other for many years, resulting in a small number. The three parties have always maintained a delicate balance. This balance is difficult to break, but once a new third-level god rises, the three forces will be unbalanced in an instant. The warriors of the God Realm are those who participate in the Taegzu War in the God Realm. This is an honorable title. Among them, the Holy King and the Immortal King are the largest in number, numbering tens of millions. The first-level gods are the backbone, and there are more than 1 million. The second-level gods are the leaders, and their number is relatively small. As for the Spirit King, he is not qualified to be a warrior in the God Realm, because even the weakest double-winged angels and double-winged demons can easily kill them. The Spirit King can only stay in the God Realm and is a protected object. Of course, there are also many powerful gods, and second-level gods who stay in the God Realm to protect the God Realm, protect the weak, and protect the three weak God Kings. After all, in the past history, there have indeed been many angels and demons rushing into the God Realm. Yang Tian and Huang Mao also rushed into the Great Void battlefield along with the flow of people. Afterwards, the large army dispersed in the form of small teams and hid in various jungles. Compared with the angel and demon army, the God Realm army has an advantage, that is, they are not affected by the barrier, and can enter the Taegzu battlefield in advance before the Taegzu battlefield opens, ambush, and sneak attack. The braver the person, the closer the ambush. Yang Tian and Huang Mao also ambushed in the front troops. They are very powerful, and they may not lose to a single second-level god, but if they encounter multiple, or even a group of second-level gods, they will be dead. After the ambush, the next step is a long and anxious wait. The army of the God Realm was all in ambush at around 5 o'clock, but after 3.5 hours, there was still no sign of any angels or demons. After all, the Taegzu battlefield would not open until 6 o'clock, and the army of angels and demons would have just set out from the angel and demon domains at that time. The coverage area of the Taegzu battlefield is extremely large, much larger than the combined coverage area of the three domains of the God Realm, the Angel Realm, and the Demon Realm. The army of the God Realm was only ambushed near the God Realm, waiting for the army of angels and demons to rush over. Obviously, it would take a certain amount of time for the army of angels and demons to set out at 6 o'clock and rush over here. In addition, there is another point. This Taegzu battlefield has been opened more than once or twice, and the three forces have fought wars for many years, and each has gained experience. The army of angels and demons obviously knows the routine of the army of the God Realm, and even if they rush over, they may not show up immediately. In this regard, many warriors of the God Realm are accustomed to it and are still waiting patiently. But Yang Tian Huang Mao is quite anxious. Especially Huang Mao, who was so anxious that he wanted to jump up. He couldn't help asking a God Realm warrior beside him, why haven't the angel and demon army arrived yet? Are they going to fight? You have a routine, and the enemy is also prepared. How can they be easily hooked? Just wait patiently. The God Realm warrior was also a God Realm strongman. He didn't give Huang Mao much face. He said impatiently, and then crouched forward a few steps, not giving Huang Mao a chance to ask again. If you are an angel or a demon, I will make you kneel down and call me daddy now. The disdainful attitude of the God Realm strongman instantly angered Huang Mao. Huang Mao raised his middle finger straight at the man's back and kept cursing in his heart. He still put the overall situation first and didn't curse out loud, otherwise it would be a sin to break out a civil war in advance. With the opening of the World League Stadium, the seats of more than 1 million spectators were instantly filled, and the sound waves soared to the sky. Because this morning's match is special, it is not only the first opening match of the World League, but also a match between two strong teams, so the ticket price is quite expensive. But this still can't stop the enthusiastic audience and fans. Most of the millions of viewers are Chinese players, which shows how big the Shuimeng team is. Xiaodong and Xiaomei, who once hosted and commented on the domestic qualifiers in the Chinese war zone, now have the qualifications to host and comment. Of course, in addition to the two of them, there are two Japanese people, and the four of them jointly host and comment on this game. As official personnel, they will try their best to maintain a neutral position. Of course, they can only try their best. Which side they will lean towards when commenting on the game, that is foreseeable. At this time, the four people are leading the audience on the scene and in the official live broadcast room to familiarize themselves with the members of the major teams and the rules of the game again. The differences between the World League and the domestic qualifiers were also introduced in detail again. The official game starts at 10 o'clock. It is not even 9 o'clock now, and the two teams are entering the field early at the request of the official to heat up the atmosphere on the scene. As the members of both teams entered the field, the scene cheered, but soon someone noticed that the Shuimeng team was short of people. Brother Shui, where is Huang Shaoran? What's the point of playing without them? Are you scared? Fierce as a tiger in the civil war, but scared as a dog in the foreign war? Is this the true portrayal of the Shuimeng team? Damn, don't let down at the critical moment. Can you win the World Championship first, but you have to beat the Japanese team first? What bullshit are you talking about? We have to beat the Japanese team and the championship. We have to have it all. Add 1. Add 10,086. With the absence of Yang Tian Huangmao, some doubts were raised immediately, and some people even accused the Shuimeng team of taking money to play a fake match and deliberately missing the game. The scene was noisy. What are you arguing about? The official game starts at 10 o'clock. What time is it now? Why are you panicking? That's right, it hasn't started yet, and you're already cursing. Why don't you go to heaven? Add 1, and don't you notice that the angel team is also missing 2 people? Soon, another voice sounded. So many viewers turned their eyes to the angel team. Which Nanamai, Senbon Blood Eagle, Senbon Snow Sakura, God's left hand, God's right hand. There are only 5 people, as for Miyamoto Takeshi and the big brother Luozi did not appear. God's left hand, God's right hand. Am I blurry-eyed? A good Chinese doesn't want to be a dog in Japan. That's right, and he also helped the Japanese team to play the game. It's just a bastard. Countless viewers sprayed wildly. At the scene, the faces of God's left hand and God's right hand were very ugly. God's left hand was fine, he had already prepared himself mentally, but God's right hand was very disgusted. His strength was not that strong, and he was at the bottom of the team, so he was destined to sit on the bench. There were countless strong people in Fallen Angels, and there were many people who could replace him, but Qianben Blood Eagle nominated him. Now that he was abused by the Chinese, he was naturally depressed and regretted that he followed God's left hand on this path. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 652. Everyone, the official competition will start at 10 o'clock. The players who are not here now may have encountered something, or they may want to be the last to appear. Please wait patiently for a while. What I can tell you clearly is that both teams still have 5 players. The competition will start as usual at 10 o'clock, and Brother Shui and his team can still participate as long as they arrive before the end of the competition. The audience reacted too much, and the host Xiaodong had to explain patiently and comfort them. On the other side, it was not until after 9 o'clock that a faint sound of wind finally came from the dense forest where Yang Tian Huangmao and a group of God Realm warriors were ambushing. Immediately, a demon team appeared in front of everyone. There were about 100 people, led by the 8-winged demons in front, and most of them were low-level demons, 6-winged, 4-winged, 2-winged, etc. They were seen walking in the dense forest, and their expressions were also very alert. This demon, although warlike and murderous, still has brains. Knowing that someone is ambushing, they must be cautious. Demon. The yellow-haired man's eyes lit up, and he moved and ran towards the group of demons. The group of demons were instantly alert, and while their ferocious eyes swept towards the yellow-haired man, they also looked around vigilantly. Obviously, they didn't care about the yellow-haired man, but they were afraid that there were other God Realm warriors around. This idiot, many God Realm warriors around cursed directly, and their figures also stood out from the dense forest. What about the ambush? When the group of demons get closer, everyone will focus their fire and attack, and kill most of the centaurs in seconds. Then solve the group of demons without injury. What a good tactic is this! But the idiot jumped out directly, making the group of demons instantly alert. At this time, the ambush and sneak attack is a joke, and they can only fight head-on. At that time, even if they could win, they would have to pay a huge price. After all, demons are generally stronger than humans. Looking at the figure of Huang Mao rushing out, many warriors in the God realm gnashed their teeth, and they had already cursed Huang Mao's ancestors in their hearts. However, sweeping the army, Huang Mao rushed forward, and the yellow dragon spear in his hand swept out, instantly stimulating a semicircular golden energy wave with a large range, sweeping towards the other group of demons with the rolling dragon roar. Puff, puff, puff. Hundreds of demons were cut in half, and blue blood rushed out as if it was free. A strong and pungent smell of blood instantly enveloped the dense forest. The group of demons had no time to react, and they were all broken into two, fell to the ground, and exploded a large amount of spoils. The scene was extremely bloody. Now Huang Mao holds at 100 yellow dragon spear, and his basic combat power is as high as 50 billion. Now he has too many skill points like Yang Tian, and almost all his skills are maxed out. Because he is a dragon knight, holding the yellow dragon spear doubles his combat power, and now any of his skills has at least 10 trillion combat power. And because of the white tiger ring, he can deal 10 times the real damage to the demon, which means that he ignores all the defense and protection resistance of the demon and deals 100 trillion damage. No matter how powerful the enemy is, as long as it is a dark life, he can deal 100 trillion damage with any move. Real damage, that's how terrifying. Generally, the 8-winged demon has only 2 or 3 trillion lives. Of course, if it is an 8-winged demon warrior, it may have more than 10 trillion lives. But Huang Mao swept through thousands of troops with one move, and all the 8-winged demons were killed. As for those low-level demons, they couldn't die anymore. After Huang Mao killed hundreds of demons with one move, he instantly gained 900 million merit points and hundreds of skill points. NPCs are usually killed first, so there will naturally be first kill rewards. The first kill of a first-level god, a first-level beast, an 8-winged angel, and an 8-winged demon will all have 10 skill points reward. The first kill of 6-winged, 4-winged, and 2-winged demons also has skill point rewards. If ordinary players get hundreds of skill points at once, they will probably cry with joy, but Huang Mao now has too many skill points to use up, so even if he gets hundreds more skill points, he won't feel anything at all. Seeing Huang Mao kill hundreds of demons in one move, a group of God Realm warriors around were stunned and took a breath. So strong, all the God Realm warriors around were unbelievable. Because the blood of angels and demons is strong, ordinary human warriors in the same realm are far from being the opponents of angels and demons. Generally speaking, human warriors can only defeat angels and demons by fighting with more people. They can all see that Huang Mao is only a first-level God realm. However, he can kill a group of demons in one move. More importantly, there are also several 8-winged demons in that group of demons. He actually defeated them all in seconds. He is so powerful, of course he can do whatever he wants, no wonder he doesn't bother to ambush, because there is no need at all. It's ridiculous that we just called him an idiot. It turns out that we are the idiots, we don't know his strength at all. Many warriors in the god realm all smiled bitterly and said nothing. At the same time, their eyes looking at Huangmao quietly became extremely admiring. At this time, Huangmao had summoned the green dragon to ride on it, and let the green dragon automatically clean up the spoils, a total of 100 demon bloodlines. Among them, there are several 8-winged demon bloodlines. The sound caused by the yellow-haired man killing hundreds of demons instantly was like a fuse, instantly detonating the entire Taixu battlefield. In various areas, war cries rose to the sky, and the warriors of the divine domain, angels and demons fought each other. It is worth mentioning that angels and demons are not in an alliance. Moreover, angels are very good at fighting demons, but angels disdain to attack demons. Because killing demons is meaningless to angels. It is also meaningless for demons to kill angels. Generally speaking, demons dare not challenge angels. Angels and demons are not in an alliance, but their goals are just the same, which is to kill humans. But sometimes when they are red-eyed, angels and demons will also go to war with each other. Let's go. Yang Tian and Huangmao rushed to various battlefields in parallel, slaughtering angels and demons wantonly, and achieved many results. Every time Yang Tian killed a life, the artifact Lich King Scepter would absorb a soul. This is the passive effect of the Lich King's disaster, killing lives and absorbing souls, which lasts for 10 seconds. The active effect of the Lich King's Bane is to summon the soul in the form of a puppet for 30 seconds. The attributes of the puppet are equivalent to his strength when he was alive. This Lich King's Bane is particularly useful in a war. As the battle continues, more and more angel and demon puppets gather around Yang Tian. Although each puppet can only exist for 30 seconds at most, the more puppets there are, the more enemies are killed, and the more puppets there are. To put it simply, in such a large-scale war, Yang Tian's speed of replenishing soul puppets is far greater than the consumption. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 653. Yang Tian even summoned an army of undead. I saw Yang Tian standing on the back of a bone dragon, leading his army of undead and an army of puppets, rampaging all the way, sweeping across all major battlefields. In less than 10 minutes, Yang Tian had slaughtered tens of thousands of angels and demons. His contribution value has soared to more than 9 billion, and he is only one step away from being promoted to the second-level divine realm. Although Huangmao can kill angels and demons at will, his killing efficiency is naturally far inferior to that of Yang Tian. In the Taixu battlefield, among the warriors of the god's domain, friendly forces are the default. The default is the default. You can kill each other if you want. Yang Tian had no intention of attacking the divine warriors, so he only killed angels and demons, revealing many angel and demon bloodlines. Yang Tian summoned Suanwu to clean up the loot. Those two adults are as if they are possessed by the king of gods. They are obviously only in the first level of the divine realm, but the 8-winged angels and 8-winged demons have no ability to resist them at all. Quick, follow those two adults. Many divine warriors silently followed Yang Tian Huangmao, seeking shelter. He is a strong man in the first order divine realm, and he is also respectfully known as Mr. Yang Tian Huangmao Sheng. After all, although their realms were similar, Yang Tian Huangmao's strength was much stronger than theirs. Yang Tian's combat power and lethality were simply too terrifying. The army is rampaging, and wherever it passes, a group of angels or a group of demons will inevitably die, and then their souls will be summoned by Yang Tian in the form of puppets to supplement their fighting strength. Finally, 2 ten-winged demons were ushered in front of Yang Tian's army. Both of them are holding big swords and both have warrior professions. 10-winged demons, a group of divine warriors behind them exclaimed. The absolute suppression of that state was breathtaking. Yang Tian also condensed his eyes and quietly put a glazed bone shield on himself. Since he became a god, it has been almost difficult to have an opponent. This is the first time he has activated the bone shield since he became a god. Now, as his combat power has become stronger, the strength of his bone shield has reached 10 trillion. You know, his own HP is only 3 trillion. Human ant, you are so arrogant. You are only a first-order god, but you are much more arrogant than some of the second-order gods I have killed. Remember, in this Tigzu battlefield, the first-order gods are like ants. If you force yourself to come forward and encounter 10-winged demons like us, you will die, one of the 10-winged demons snorted coldly. As soon as he finished speaking, Huang Mao shot out. Total annihilation. Accompanied by the roar of the dragon, golden energy waves swept out towards the two of them. As long as Huang Mao hits the dark life, no matter how strong the opponent is, the damage will be at least 100 trillion or more. Unless the opponent has a hegemonic body, an external defense method such as a shield. Doqi is obviously also an external defense, but within the Tigzu battlefield, any person, any angel or demon, basically has full-level Doqi. In the later stage, grudges were just ordinary means, and they cancelled each other out. Those 2 ten-winged demons obviously didn't know how powerful Huang Mao was. But even so, they still easily dodged Huang Mao's attack. They moved very fast, and when their bodies moved, black after images swayed out. The 10-winged demon is in the realm of a second-level god, and its basic movement speed is quite high. In addition, they also have the bloodline of the 10-winged demon, with combat power, attack speed, and movement speed at 150%. They are both second-level gods, and the 10-winged angels and 10-winged demons usually defeat human second-level gods because of their powerful bloodline. Humph! The 2 10-winged demons snorted angrily, ignoring Huang Mao, spreading their 10 wings behind them, and both flew towards Yang Tian at a dazzling speed. In their eyes, Yang Tian Huang Mao is just an ant. But Yang Tian is not an ordinary ant, because he can also summon a group of ants. If he is allowed to kill like this, it will simply affect the balance of Tigzu battlefield. After all, there are still too few second-order gods, 10-winged angels, and 10-winged demons in the Tigzu battlefield. Because of this, they wanted to kill Yang Tian first. Blow. Blow. The speed of the two of them was so fast that it was difficult for Yang Tian to dodge, so he simply stood still. The trigger was instantaneous and the body was as motionless as a mountain, and a golden red hegemonic light erupted from the surface of his body. Boom! The giant swords in their hands smashed into Yang Tian at the same time, and with an explosion, infinite air waves were generated, sweeping out in all directions. Yang Tian remained motionless. Because of the effect of the overlord body, the damage was reduced tenfold. Therefore, withstanding the joint attack of the 2 10-winged demons, he only suffered a total of 6 trillion damage. The health bar above his head remained motionless, which meant that the white bar of the bone shield had dropped by 6/10. All the armies under his command also withstood the shockwave of the air waves. Countless undead armies, puppet armies, and divine warriors were knocked away and fell. Only 5 bone dragons, a few 8-winged angel demon puppets, and a few first-order godly warriors could withstand it. The 2 10-winged demons were both stunned and in disbelief. From their point of view, the two of them joining forces to kill a first-order divine ant was already a huge honor. Yang Tian, that ant, was bound to die, but he never expected that he would actually endure it. The lion roars. However, even as the two of them pondered for a moment, Yang Tian roared suddenly, and the shadow of the lion appeared behind him, and the golden sound waves swept out wildly, dazing them both at the same time. The undead transforms into a ghost assassin. Shadow attack. Yang Tian casually slashed a 10-winged demon on the right side with a knife. It was a low-level skill, but it caused explosive damage, causing the latter to lose 30% of its health. Afterwards, because of the effect of shadow attack, Yang Tian moved his body, leaving a trail of afterimages behind him, and appeared behind the 10-winged demon on the left side at a speed second only to teleportation. The damage deepened. The 10-winged demon on the right side exploded and died. Backstab. The black knife went in, the blue knife came out, and the threefold back attack killed the 10-winged demon on the left side instantly. Hiss. As the two 10-winged demons fell to the ground and fell instantly, all the warriors of the god realm at the scene took a breath of cold air, stunned and unbelievable. They thought of countless results. They thought Yang Tian would be killed instantly by the two 10-winged demons. They also thought that Yang Tian could resist for a while, but he would still die in the end. They never thought that Yang Tian could kill the 10-winged demons, and kill two of them instantly. Swish. At this moment, Yang Tian obtained 20 billion merit points by killing two 10-winged demons, and instantly broke through the limit of the first-level god. A flash of white light, Yang Tian was promoted to the second-level god, and his strength soared again. My lord. Many warriors in the god realm present could no longer suppress their excitement, and they all knelt down and worshipped Yang Tian. The 10-winged demon is a terrifying existence that can crush the second-level gods of humans. Yang Tian is only a first-level god of humans, but he instantly killed two 10-winged demons, and his strength is extremely terrifying. And now he has been promoted to the second-level god, which is naturally even more terrifying. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 654. Many divine warriors have already regarded Yang Tian as a divine king and worshipped him. To advance from a first-level god to a second-level god requires tens of billions of merit points. Yang Tian killed countless angels and demons, accumulating 9 billion merit points, and killed two 10-winged demons, earning another 20 billion merit points in a row. Now Yang Tian has been promoted to the second-level god and still has 19 billion merit points. The promotion of a second-level god to a third-level god requires hundreds of trillions of merit points. Kill the 8-winged angels and demons to get 100 million merit points, and you need to kill millions of them. Kill 10-winged angels and demons to obtain tens of billions of merit points, and you need to kill 10,000 of them. However, Yang Tian checked his status. Discovering that being promoted to a third-level god requires a full 700 trillion merit points, which is 7 times more difficult than an ordinary second-level god. Is it because of the human king? According to what Hu Fu said, after a second-level god accumulates hundreds of trillions of merit points, he will receive a third-level god from heaven and be directly promoted to a third-level god. If I accumulate 700 trillion merit points, will 7 third-level godheads be dropped from the sky? After Yang Tian was slightly shocked, he suddenly realized that he didn't feel it was unfair. Since the human king is so powerful, it is normal for promotion to be more difficult than for ordinary people. After Yang Tian was promoted to the second-level god, his basic combat power reached 110 billion. Generally speaking, third-level gods are 10 times more powerful than second-level gods, and second-level gods are 10 times more powerful than first-level gods. For example, the basic combat power of a first-level god is only 3 billion, while the basic combat power of a second-level god is 30 billion. However, when Yang Tian was a first-level god, his basic combat power was 50 billion. After being promoted to a second-level god, why was his basic combat power not 500 billion, but only 110 billion? This is normal. When Yang Tian was a first-level god, he held a strengthening add 100 artifact. Now he has become a second-level god. His own strength has improved, but his weapons and equipment have not. Artifacts, especially enhanced add 100 artifacts have a huge increase for first level gods, but not so much for second level gods. The increase for third order gods is obviously even smaller. The stronger one is, the lower the need for weapons. Of course, if your weapons can also be upgraded, that's another story. Generally, the basic combat power of a first order god is 3 billion. Generally, the basic combat power of a second level god is 30 billion. Generally, the basic combat power of a third level god is 300 billion. When Yang Tian is a first level god, his basic combat power is higher than that of ordinary second level gods. When Yang Tian became a second level god, his basic combat power could no longer surpass that of ordinary third level gods. The Scourge of the Lich King. Yang Tian had just killed 2 ten-winged demons and absorbed their souls. At this time, Yang Tian summoned them in the form of puppets, and swept and crushed them again. 30 seconds later, the 2 puppets of the 10-winged demon disappeared, but at this time, Yang Tian's merit value increased by billions. It's approaching 10 o'clock in the morning. Yang Tian killed countless angels and demons, not only promoted to the second level god, but also accumulated more than 200 billion additional merit points. Huang Mao has accumulated more than 20 billion merit points. If a first level god wants to be promoted to a second level god, in addition to tens of billions of merit points, he also needs a second level godhead or the bloodline of a second level divine beast. Unfortunately, Huang Mao currently does not have the second level godhead or the bloodline of the second level divine beast. He has empty merit points, but cannot be promoted to the second level god. I'm actually hungry again. It seems that after I was promoted to the second level god, the Dowdy bloodline has become stronger and stronger. A convulsive hunger hit him, and Yang Tian instantly became skin and bones, with scarlet eyes. Everyone thought it was delicious, and even the taste in his mouth was unbearable. Drooling. Yang Tian's heart trembled. In the past, when he was in the first level of God realm, every time he used sky swallowing haki, he would only be able to control it for a day or two at most. In the first half of the month, he took his parents' Ziobai to level up, and went to the world ocean for a feast every other day. But now, he had just been promoted to the second level god, his strength had become stronger, his appetite had increased, and he felt convulsively hungry after a while. If you use Tian Tian haki, let alone a day or two, I'm afraid you won't be able to control it for even half a day. What's wrong with you? Looking at Yang Tian's appearance, Huang Mao was startled. He still didn't know the influence the Dowdy bloodline had on Yang Tian. Yang Tian didn't answer, just roared. Swallowing the sky and domineering. I saw Yang Tian instantly transforming into a ferocious ferocious beast, its mouth opened wide with blood, the sky collapsed, and countless angels and demons flew out uncontrollably, screaming in despair. When Yang Tian was a first level god, his sky-swallowing domineering energy could only swallow an area comparable to the size of a city. Now that Yang Tian is a second level god, the swallowing range of Tian Tian haki has increased countless times, and it can already swallow an area comparable to the size of an empire. Of course, the Taigzi battlefield is huge, much larger than an empire. The infinite headwind sends everything in this area to the Dowdy Big Mouth. The dark clouds parted and the sun shone. This area was reduced to a barren and barren land, with all the jungles, valleys, and rivers disappearing. In this area, except for a few 10-winged angels and 10-winged demons, all angels, demons, and even countless ferocious beasts and monsters were swallowed by Yang Tian. This time, Yang Tian didn't know how many angels and demons he had defeated. But he found that his merit value had increased by more than 300 billion, reaching 600 billion merit value. In addition, he has more than 300 billion green energy values. That's right, the swallowing of the sky swallows the living beings and the spiritual energy of heaven and earth, and the swallowed living beings are naturally killed instantly. In other words, he kills angels and demons and gains merit points. He swallows angels and demons, swallows fierce beasts and monsters, and swallows the spiritual energy of heaven and earth, and also gets green energy. This green energy can not only be used directly as merit points, but also directly strengthen oneself and improve attributes. This green energy mainly improves life force defense and mainly improves Yang Tian's physical strength. Yang Tian himself is just a fragile mage, but with this Daodi bloodline, his body will become stronger and stronger. Is this the ability of Daodi bloodline? Looking at the barren land around him, Huang Mao had a panoramic view without any obstacles. His eyes were wide open and his mouth was wide open, as if he had seen a ghost, and he was shocked beyond words. My lord, long live my lord! Countless regional warriors of the God realm all looked at Yang Tian with worshipful eyes and shouted loudly. The warriors of the God realm are generally not as good as angels and demons. If it were not for the absolute advantage in numbers, the God realm would have been destroyed long ago. But Yang Tian is an exception. As Yang Tian rises, he shows his strength again, and immediately makes countless warriors of the God realm worship him. Daodi devours living beings and the spiritual energy of heaven and earth. After digesting it, it can obtain energy and nourish the body. However, Daodi cannot digest weapons and equipment, blood godhood, materials, and coins. Yang Tian cannot digest those things either. However, after Yang Tian obtained the blood of Daodi, there was another space in his body, which Yang Tian called the Daodi space. In that Daodi space, there are many things that Yang Tian cannot digest. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 655. In Yang Tian's Daodi space, there are many weapons and equipment, many angel and demon bloodlines, and many bloodlines of fierce beasts and demon beasts. Those weapons and equipment are rubbish, not even a single artifact. After all, in the God domain store, any artifact starts at 10 billion merit points. A first-level god can't afford an artifact at all. Similarly, in the stores of the angel domain and the demon domain, any artifact must start at 10 billion light energy and 10 billion dark energy. 8-winged angels, 8-winged demons, and even low-level angels and demons can't afford it. Yang Tian is now a second-level god. When he uses the swallowing domineering power, he can only devour 8-winged angels, 8-winged demons, and divine beasts at most. Yang Tian devoured and killed countless angels and demons at once, including a large number of 8-winged angels and demons, but he didn't get any artifacts, but he got a lot of bloodlines. He may have devoured a lot of divine beasts, but he didn't get any artifacts. Yang Tian simply sorted and classified the many items in the Daodi space. He mainly checked the blood of the divine beasts to see if there were any powerful blood of the divine beasts. After a moment, he really found out. Dragon blood, Xiaoguang/consumable. After using it, the attributes are greatly improved, and the blood skills Magic Reflection and Dragon Constitution are obtained. Magic Reflection, passive when attacked within a 5-yard range, the opponent will be attacked twice. Dragon Constitution, passive improve life defense resistance. This magic reflection is exactly the same as the thorns of the iron backthorn dragon. Yang Tian threw the dragon blood to Huang Mao, who was not polite and swallowed it in one gulp. In addition to the iron backthorn dragon blood that Yang Tian gave Huang Mao not long ago, Huang Mao now has 7 bloods in his body, and they are all dragon bloods. Dragon blood, Tyrannosaurus Rex blood, dragon blood, iron backthorn dragon blood, flame dragon blood, water dragon blood, green dragon blood. Because of the effects of the demon dragon bloodline and the iron backthorn dragon bloodline, Huang Mao will counter-attack the enemy 4 times once he is attacked within a 5-yard range. He no longer envied Yang Tian's thorn dragon armor. In fact, the thorn dragon bloodline and the thorn dragon armor have the same effect, and the effects cannot be superimposed. How is it, 7 kinds of dragon bloodlines, have you triggered the hidden settings of the Dragon King? Yang Tian glanced at Huang Mao and joked. No. Damn, I wasted my expectations, Huang Mao frowned. Yang Tian was stunned. Expectations. You have a hole in your brain. Yang Tian's mouth twitched, and it was difficult to understand Huang Mao's imagination. 10 o'clock in the morning. Water Alliance Team vs Angel Team, officially started. In the Angel Team, Miyamoto Takeshi and Big Brother Lugo have returned. Miyamoto Takeshi is already a second-level god, and Big Brother Lugo is already a 10-winged angel. They are also super masters, and they are at the same level and basically can't find opponents. Now that the Taegzu battlefield is open, it is naturally easy for them to be promoted to the second-level god. Miyamoto Takeshi has been promoted to the second-level god, and the Big Brother Lugo has also been promoted to the 10-winged angel. Oh my god, Brother Shui and Mr. Huang haven't come yet? How can we fight? Everyone, look at the world ranking list. Brother Shui has also been promoted to the second-level god. Not only Brother Shui, but also South Korea's Rong Chuang, the United States Super and Caesar, and the British Buddy Duke have all been promoted to the second-level god. Damn, what happened? Why did so many second-level gods suddenly appear? What's the use of saying that? Now the game has started. If Brother Shui and Mr. Huang don't come, the Shui Meng team will be finished. Many voices rang out in the audience. Especially the Chinese audience, their hearts were tightened. After all, the Shui Meng team is the #1 seed team in the Chinese theater. If the Shui Meng team loses in the world game, what splash can the demon team make alone? It's 10 o'clock, the game has started, hurry up. Yang Tian looked at Huang Mao. Immediately, the two crushed the divine stone, returned to the divine realm again, and went straight to the store. This divine realm store also sells second-level godhood and a few second-level divine beast bloodlines. The second-level godhood is sold at 10 billion merit points. The second-level divine beast bloodline is sold at 50 billion merit points. Yang Tian spent 20 billion merit points to buy 2 second-level godhoods, one for himself and one for Huang Mao. Now Yang Tian has much more merit points than Huang Mao, so he naturally has to take care of him more. Yang Tian used the second-level godhood to upgrade the White Tiger bloodline, making the White Tiger bloodline upgraded to the second-level divine beast bloodline. In this way, he is not afraid of the Dowdy bloodline. And Huang Mao used the second-level godhood to upgrade the dragon bloodline, making the dragon bloodline upgraded to the second-level divine beast bloodline. At the same time, he automatically consumed 10 billion merit points and successfully promoted to the second-level god. In fact, the merit points and green energy in Yang Tian's hands now add up to nearly 1 trillion. He could have spent more than 100 billion merit points to directly purchase a dozen second-level godheads, and upgrade all the blood in himself and Huang Mao's body to the second-level bloodline. But he felt that it was unnecessary. First of all, the two of them were already strong enough, and they basically couldn't find an opponent in the same realm. More importantly, if they wanted to be promoted to the third-level god, they would need to spend 700 trillion merit points. With such a huge cost, it is estimated that 7 third-level godheads would fall from the sky. In this case, Yang Tian was naturally reluctant to waste it. After all, 100 billion merit points were not too much, but not too little. After everything was settled, Yang Tian and Huang Mao did not rush to the lower world, but went to the awakening hall again. They wanted to awaken the talent of the god realm, that is, the method of creating the god's clone. Yang Tian can help Huang Mao spend money to buy godhood, but he can't help him spend money to awaken his talent. Fortunately, Huang Mao himself still has 10 billion merit points. Yang Tian and Huang Mao each spent 10 billion merit points and both awakened their god-level talents. Soon, they found that they needed 10 billion merit points to create a clone of God. For a strong man in the God level, the first clone of God created by him has the same strength as the original. The original can improve its strength and become stronger. The clone of God can also. The clone of God is another individual, another life. If your original died in battle, the clone of God will not be affected in any way. Of course, the original and the clone of God are connected in thought and consciousness. Yang Tian and Huang Mao heard that. A first-level God only needs 100 million merit points to create a clone of God. A second-level God needs 10 billion merit points to create a clone of God. A third-level God needs 100 trillion merit points to create a clone of God. Of course, if Yang Tian Huang Mao promoted to the third-level God, he would need 700 trillion merit points to create a clone of the God. Unfortunately, I don't have enough merit points. Huang Mao curled his lips. He still had 100 million merit points in his hand. In other words, he could actually create a first-level God clone first, and then promote himself to the second-level God. But he didn't regret it. At this point, he no longer looked down on the first-level God clone. Moreover, after he created the first-level God clone, if the first-level God clone wanted to be promoted to the second-level God clone, the God clone itself would also need to accumulate 10 billion merit points. Yang Tian ignored him and directly spent 10 billion merit points to create his own God clone. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 656. Suddenly, Yang Tian split into two. Both Yang Tians were real entities, looking at each other with surprise in their eyes. At this time, Yang Tian seemed to have two souls, controlling two bodies at the same time, and the thoughts and consciousness of both sides were connected, which was extremely magical. Of course, there is still a big difference between Yang Tian and his divine clone. Yang Tian is still Yang Tian. And Yang Tian's divine clone is equivalent to an empty number that has just reached the second-level God. Yang Tian has 600 billion merit points and more than 300 billion green energy, but he has nothing. Yang Tian has a set of costumes, a set of equipment, 10 titles, and a set of gems, but he has nothing. Now he is naked from the waist up, and his lower body is just a pair of white shorts. Yang Tian has NPC war servants such as Xian Yuan Longer and Xiao Jian, and war pets such as Suan Wu and Tang Shi, but he has nothing. However, he has the second-level God realm, the bloodlines of Huang Long, Beihu, Suan Wu, the heart of the God tree, and all the skills that Yang Tian has, excluding the additional skills of equipment. He has everything that Yang Tian's original body has, but he has none of the other many external objects. This once again proves that the God's clone is a separate individual, a separate life, and a separate existence. However, he also has Yang Tian's soul, and the original body is connected to his thinking consciousness. Even if the two are not together and act separately, both sides will know as if they experienced it personally. After all, it is the same soul. Yang Tian's God's clone does not have add 100 Lich King's scepter and Amos's hero ring, so his strength is naturally far from being comparable to Yang Tian's original body. Amos's hero ring itself has nothing, but it is mainly integrated with the magic energy conversion ring. That magic energy conversion is also one of Yang Tian's powerful abilities. Well, the God clone has no equipment or title, which is a bit of a loss. It was said that the God clone is as powerful as the original body. Yang Tian was a little confused. He just believed the sentence wrongly. Of course, the God clone is as powerful as the original body, and there is nothing wrong with the sentence itself. After all, the equipment and titles of ordinary God realm strongmen are not very good, and the God clones they created are indeed infinitely close to their original bodies. It's just that Yang Tian's equipment and titles are too luxurious. It's okay, you only spent 10 billion merit points, so it's not a loss. Although my strength is far inferior to yours, I can help you a little, Yang Tian's God clone said. Yang Tian was stunned. He actually talked to himself? How wonderful is this feeling? Huang Mao was also stunned. After a short silence, Yang Tian casually put together a set of equipment and a set of gems and handed them over to his god identity. As for the title, except for the Constellation Guardian title that can be traded, the general title requires the god clone to trigger the hidden task himself to get it. After being fully armed, Yang Tian's clone finally looked like a bit, and his basic combat power was only 30 billion. This was far from the basic combat power of 110 billion of Yang Tian's original body, which was just the level of a general second-level god. Of course, this basic combat power was the basic combat power. Yang Tian's clone also had the terrifying background of a human king, with many bloodline skills, the heart of the sacred tree, and most of Yang Tian's original body's means. Although Yang Tian's clone was far inferior to Yang Tian's original body, it was also very powerful and could also sweep across the Taixu battlefield. Okay, let's go down and play a game, and you continue to participate in the Taixu war, Yang Tian instructed his clone. The clone's merit points in the Taixu battlefield were also his own, and would not be fed back to the original body. However, the clone's strength was indeed beneficial to Yang Tian himself. Moreover, although the original body and the clone were two different individuals, they were the same soul, and their thoughts and consciousness were connected. God's clone, there is no such thing as betrayal. After all, they are all serving me, so why would they betray me? After parting with the God's clone, Yang Tian Huang Mao descended to the lower world and teleported to the competition venue. Brother Shui. Brother Shui is back. Mr. Huang is back too, he is now a second-level god, 6666. No matter what, I still hope that the Shuimeng team can win, after all, it is the number 1 seed team in our Chinese war zone. As Yang Tian Huang Mao and the two felt, the audience suddenly made a noise. At this time, the game between the Shuimeng team and the Angel team had begun. The Shuimeng team was the red side, and the first round of the ring duel was selected first. At that time, Yang Tian Huang Mao was not there, so Xiao Fei had to bite the bullet and go on the court. Why bite the bullet? After all, the Angel team had 3 second-level gods. Xiao Fei was very strong and very confident, but the gap in realm was not something that could be easily crossed. In the Shuimeng team, Xiao Fei could be regarded as the third person. The Angel team was also very clear about this. If they sent out the Qianban brothers and sisters or the god's left hand and god's right hand, they might not win. So they decisively sent out Big Brother Luo, intending to secure a point first. After all, in the World League, every point is very important. When Yang Tian Huang Mao arrived, the game between Xiao Fei and Big Brother Luo had already begun. Big Brother Luo is the Lord of Light. Now he is a 10-winged angel, equivalent to the second-level god realm. He can summon up to 5 10-winged angel summons, namely, 10-winged angel warrior, assassin, mage, archer, and priest. However, if you want to summon these 10-winged angels, you must first learn the corresponding summoning skills. Killing a 10-winged angel will give you a chance to get the corresponding summoning skill book. When the Taixu battlefield was opened, Big Boss Luo also killed some warriors in the god realm. He had just been promoted to a 10-winged angel, and he did not kill any 10-winged angel NPC. Therefore, he did not have the skills to summon a 10-winged angel at all, and naturally could not summon a 10-winged angel. Even if he had the skills to summon an 8-winged angel, he only learned one, which was an 8-winged angel warrior. His upper limit is extremely high, but his skills are not complete now, and he is far from being able to exert the true power of the Lord of Light. But now, he can already summon 108-winged angel warriors. And those 108-winged angel warriors all bless his light strength, armor penetration, critical strike, and burst damage, and their real combat power far exceeds that of ordinary 8-winged angels. At this time, Xiao Fei couldn't help but feel numb when facing the encirclement of 108-winged angel warriors. Xiao Fei himself is just an 8-winged angel assassin. but Xiao Fei still showed extraordinary strength. He moved like a dragon, moving like the wind, and continuously bypassed hundreds of 8-winged angel warriors. He suddenly appeared behind Big Brother Lugo with a shadow attack, and the dagger in his hand was dancing wildly. Backstab. Stun. Spin stab. Heart piercing. Xiao Fei's extreme combo made Big Brother Lugo's silver blood surge, but the blood in Big Brother Lugo's head did not decrease much. After all, Big Brother Lugo is now a 10-winged angel, and his HP alone is more than 100 trillion, and his defense resistance is much stronger than that of an 8-winged angel. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 657. Xiao Fei could not be defeated after a long attack. Hundreds of 8-winged angel warriors under the command of Big Boss Lugo counterattacked instantly and killed Xiao Fei in one wave. Xiao Fei, he didn't even have room to resist. For general summoning professions, it is difficult to find opponents in the same realm, and it is even more difficult to defeat enemies at a lower price. In the first round of the ring duel, Big Boss Lugo won the first game, and the angel team got 1 point. The system sounded at the right time, announcing the result of the game. There was a sigh in the audience, especially many Chinese audiences, who felt even more depressed. The realm gap is too big, and the opponent is a summoning profession. No matter how strong the non-god is, it is difficult to resist. Yes, and the angel team, in addition to Big Boss Lugo, also has the demon girl and Miyamoto Takeshi, who are both second-level gods. Alas, it's difficult, many audiences talked about it. Xiao Fei returned to the player seat with a dusty face. Yang Tian, Huang Mao and others patted his shoulders to comfort him. After all, he was only a little behind in points, so it was not a big problem. Prepare for the second game, Angel Team, please select players, countdown 60 seconds. The system sounded again, and the stadium suddenly became quiet, and you could hear a pin drop. Listen, in this first round, we only need to get 3 points, the demon girl Nanami said lightly. As her name suggests, she is very beautiful, tall, and wearing a set of blood-red armor, giving people a feeling of superiority. There are 3 super strong people in the Japanese war zone, her, Miyamoto Takeshi, and Reikage Shun. Even the Big Boss Lugo is not qualified to be compared with them. And she is a female player, which is even rarer. She has a very arrogant personality. In her opinion, in the second round of the ring points competition, she can fight 5 people and get 5 points. Then in the first round, the Angel team scored 3 points, and finally ended the Water Alliance team 8-2, making the Water Alliance team and their Angel team not qualified to play the third round of team competition. You can definitely get 1 point, but I hope you can beat Han Shui. I should have told you that Han Shui has the blood of the White Tiger, and he is very restrained against me, Miyamoto Takeshi said lightly. He was confident in his own strength, and also in the strength of the demon girl Nanami. He didn't want to fight Yang Tian, not because he thought he was not as good as Yang Tian, but purely because Yang Tian restrained him. Yeah, the demon girl Nanami nodded. That means that before you play, we just force Han Shui to play, the demon girl Nanami said coldly. Next, she didn't play. Because in her opinion, if she played, Yang Tian might not play. Even if she won at that time, this first round would only be 2 points, which was not enough. In the second game, the Angel team sent the 1000 Blood Eagle to play. In the eyes of the demon girl Nanami and Miyamoto Takeshi, this game didn't matter, and it didn't matter if the 1000 Blood Eagle lost. In their opinion, the demon girl Nanami will definitely get 1 point, and Miyamoto Takeshi will also get 1 point as long as he doesn't encounter Yang Tian, plus the 1 point that the Big Brother Lugo got before. They have already secured 3 points, and their goal has been achieved. Shuimeng team. Yang Tian and others also want to get 3 points in the first round, 5 points in the second round, and finally end the Angel team 8-2. In their opinion, The 2 points of Brother Shui and Brother Huangmao are stable, just 1 point short. Brother Shui, young Master Huang, let me go. Lang Ling took the initiative to ask for a fight, and now he is also a strong man in the God realm. Yes, Yang Tian and Huangmao nodded at the same time. In terms of strategy, they must defeat the demon girl and Miyamoto Takeshi to get these 2 points. Otherwise, if the demon girl and Miyamoto Takeshi are released, then the Shuimeng team will only have these 2 points in the first round. So in Yang Tian Huangmao's opinion, Lang Ling or Qin Yu only need to get 1 point. On the stage, Lang Ling and Qian Ben Blood Eagle took their positions, facing each other 30 yards apart. Both were berserkers. After the countdown ended, they rushed out at the same time and rushed towards each other. Frenzy. Swift. At this time, Lang Ling had turned into a werewolf berserker, his body expanded, white steam came out of his body surface, and he held 2 axes, giving people an extremely sturdy feeling. This werewolf berserker, although not as good as the dragon blood berserker in the dragon state after frenzy, was not much different, and could barely compete with the 8-winged angel and the 8-winged demon. And with the blessing of the swift movement speed, Lang Ling's movement speed was even faster than Qian Ben Blood Eagle in a short period of time. I saw Lang Ling rushing up directly and slashing at Qian Ben Blood Eagle. His double axes had a slowing effect, just like the slowing gun of the evil wind. Of course, he was also inspired by the evil wind to change his weapon. His walking and hacking skills are also very good. In addition, his speed is slightly faster than that of the Thousand Blood Eagle, and the slow speed makes it difficult for the Thousand Blood Eagle to escape. He is stuck and hacked, and the blood bar on his head is also falling. Awesome, mighty. Lang Ling is awesome. Tisk tisk, the Water Alliance team is really full of talents, each of them is unfathomable. During the domestic qualifiers, Lang Ling was only at the Saint King level and it was difficult for him to show his strength. Now he has become a god, fighting against enemies of the same level, suddenly showing his power, and it feels like a crushing blow to the Thousand Blood Eagle. This immediately made countless fans in the audience shout excitedly. And Lang Ling also lived up to expectations, becoming more and more courageous in the battle, and the Thousand Blood Eagle could not resist. This kid has learned a lot from me. In the audience, Xiefeng touched his nose and smiled arrogantly. Although he was arrogant, now that their Demon Team and Water Alliance team both represented the Chinese theater, he certainly hoped that the Water Alliance team could perform well. In the blink of an eye, Qian Ben Blood Eagle was already half dead. The swift movement speed, his double axes further slowed down my movement speed, making it difficult for me to escape, but in terms of attack speed, I still have the advantage. Strong attack. Although Qian Ben Blood Eagle's strength is far inferior to that of the Demon Girl and Miyamoto Takeshi, he obviously also has world-class strength. Moreover, he has extremely rich experience in competitions. He is not panicked even though he is at a disadvantage now. Instead, he thinks calmly and comes up with a way to deal with it. Light energy conversion. At this moment, the giant sword in Qian Ben Blood Eagle's hand turned into a pure white light blade, the light intensity doubled, and the combat power soared. Both sides slashed each other. Before, Lang Ling's health bar was obviously superior, but as time passed, the blood volume of both sides gradually equalized, and only about the last third was left. You can only chase kites, but not fly kites. This idiot, I just praised him. Xiefeng stood up in the audience and cursed. He wanted to take his place. Yang Tian also shook his head secretly. Compared with himself and Xiefeng, Lang Ling's kite skills were still a little bit worse. The so-called kite flying is to manipulate the enemy. The enemy retreats and I advance, making it difficult for the enemy to escape. The enemy advances and I retreat, making it difficult for the enemy to hurt myself. And now Lang Ling can obviously only do the enemy retreats and I advance. Thanks to the 10,000 coin reward from because, thank you, the boss has a face, the boss is really handsome. Super God Undead Lord. Author, Ba Wang Shi-san. Chapter 658. When the enemy retreats, I advance. When you are in an advantageous position, your overall speed exceeds that of the enemy, and you can fly the kite, then you can basically crush the enemy. However, when you are in an inferior position, when the enemy advances, I will not retreat, then you are basically finished, at least you can no longer fly the kite. Of course, Yang Tian was just regretful, and did not complain about anything. After all, walking and slashing, walking and shooting, that is, kiting, the theory of this operation technique is very simple. But the actual operation difficulty is also quite large. Yang Tian has lived 2 lives and has rich game experience. Xiefeng is even more familiar with this. Compared with Yang Tian and Xiefeng, Lang Ling has just learned kiting not long ago, so it is inevitable that his attainments are not deep enough. Moreover, it is more difficult for a warrior to walk and slash than for a shooter to walk and shoot. After all, a shooter can walk and shoot at a distance, and kite at a distance, while a warrior can only fight in close combat, which is too much more dangerous, with psychological pressure, and the operation difficulty will be greater. At this time, the health bars of Lang Ling and Qianban Blood Eagle were only about 1/3 left. The remaining health bar is the same, but the Senban Blood Eagle has a higher combat power. So it is obvious that the Senban Blood Eagle is now in an advantageous position, and Lang Ling is at a great disadvantage. Boy, you really scared me at the beginning, but you are still going to lose. Senban Blood Eagle laughed grimly and launched a brutal collision directly at a very close distance. Such a brutal collision at such a close distance is almost certain to hit, unless the opponent has a teleportation skill like Flash. And a brutal collision can knock Lang Ling into a dizzy state. So in the eyes of Senban Blood Eagle, he has already won. However, at this moment, Lang Ling's momentum was shaken again. Rage. At that moment, every inch of Lang Ling's skin became red and hot, as if it had burned and emitted steam, like a god of war, unstoppable. Afterwards, the Senban Blood Eagle's brutal collision still hit Lang Ling, but Lang Ling did not faint. Because this fury buff lasts for 3 seconds, it not only has a damage reduction effect, but also is immune to all negative states, such as dizziness, freezing, slowing, burning, blindness, poisoning, etc. At this time, Lang Ling was attacked again, and the blood bar above his head dropped again, but a trace of panic flashed in the eyes of Qianban Blood Eagle. Savage collision. Lang Ling made a backhand move, which directly made Qianban Blood Eagle fall into a dizzy state. Heavy attack. Continuous slash. Breaking the sky slash. After that, Lang Ling decisively used a series of combos to kill Qianban Blood Eagle on the spot. In the first round of the ring match, Lang Ling won the second game, and the Water Alliance team got 1 point. As Qianban Blood Eagle fell, the system sounded again, announcing the result of the game. The audience seat suddenly rang with shouts, which was extremely exciting. Although it was a world-class competition, at least half of the audience were Chinese players, just like the home court. After the defeat, Qianban Blood Eagle returned to the player seat with a nervous look on his face. He originally thought that the demon girl and Miyamoto Takeshi would blame him, but the demon girl and Miyamoto Takeshi didn't even look at him. It suddenly dawned on him that the demon girl and Miyamoto Takeshi had never expected him to win from the beginning. When he thought of this, he suddenly felt a sense of decadence. Water Alliance team. Lang Ling returned to the contestant seat in triumph, and high-fived Yang Tian, Huang Mao and others, smiling. Now that he has defeated the 1,000 Blood Eagles and tied the points to 1:1, it is very important for the Water Alliance team. Because he believes in the strength of Yang Tian, Huang Mao. Humph, he got into a hard fight and barely won. If it were me, I would definitely beat the 1,000 Blood Eagles. In the audience, Xiefeng looked at Lang Ling's brilliant smile and snorted disdainfully. However, he didn't know that Lang Ling still had a trump card of Blood Wolf Order that he hadn't used. In the game, it is definitely impossible to use various consumables. However, the Blood Wolf Order and the Beast King's gift obtained by Yang Tian from defeating the Beast King are both special items. They are also classified as equipment, and can be directly activated by placing them in the equipment column. The Beast King's gift increases the pet column grid, which is a passive effect. The Blood Wolf Order is an active effect, which can double the attributes of the Werewolf Berserker within 3 minutes, and there are no sequelae. The effect is comparable to the first stage of the dragon transformation. Lang Ling has just learned to walk and cut kites recently, and his attainments are naturally far less profound than those of the Evil Wind, but this does not mean that he is weak. In fact, he is also very powerful. Even if he does not use the Blood Wolf Order, he can beat the 1,000 Blood Eagles, and it is very stable. He is not a person who hides his shortcomings. If the situation is really wrong, he will not keep the Blood Wolf Order unused. From this, his strength can be seen. Not bad, focus on walking and cutting recently. You can only walk and cut to chase people, but not walk and cut to pull people. You must learn to fight and retreat, and move to avoid the enemy's attack. Yang Tian patted Lang Ling on the shoulder and instructed. Prepare for the third game, Shuimeng team, please select players, countdown 60 seconds. The system sounded again. Huang Mao went out directly and stepped onto the ring. The audience immediately screamed. In the domestic qualifiers, Huang Mao used a level 1 blank weapon to beat Zifeng in order to help Lan Yu. That scene is still vivid in the minds of many viewers and fans. It was so handsome. Huang Mao came on the stage, and the audience screamed. In particular, there was a group of fans behind Zifeng shouting and screaming, and they confessed to Huang Mao crazily. Xiefeng's face was gloomy. In his eyes, the screams of those silly girls were like slaps on his face. On the side, the devil's right hand saw the changes in Xiefeng's expression and smiled darkly. Xiefeng, what's wrong with you? In his eyes, Xiefeng was extremely talented, extremely powerful, and extremely arrogant, just like himself back then. That yellow-haired guy is a bit weird. He is obviously not an angel, but when he hits me, it hurts more than an angel, Xiefeng said depressedly. He was extremely arrogant, but being beaten by the yellow-haired guy with a level 1 blank weapon was still very hurtful to his self-esteem. Hearing this, the devil's right hand was startled. Ju Yu also frowned. A flash of inspiration flashed in her mind. She always felt that she knew something, but she couldn't remember it. Angel team. Seeing the yellow-haired guy go out, the demon girl and Miyamoto Takeshi's eyes lit up. I've finally waited for it. I'll take care of the yellow-haired guy, and you'll take care of the muddy water. Is that okay? Miyamoto Takeshi stood up and stared at the demon girl Nanami and said. Now, Angel team leader Luo has already scored 1 point. Miyamoto Takeshi and the demon girl will each score 1 point, which will be 3 points, and the goal will be achieved. Because he was afraid of the power of the White Tiger, Miyamoto Takeshi didn't want to encounter Yang Tian, but he was not afraid of the yellow-haired guy. I hope you're okay. The demon girl Nanami sat on the chair calmly, crossed her arms and snorted coldly. Ha, let me show you my strength. Miyamoto Takeshi laughed grimly and strode onto the court. Boom. As the yellow-haired guy and Miyamoto Wei encountered each other, the stadium suddenly became noisy. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 659. Master Huang. Master Huang. Master Huang. Come on, Team Water Alliance. Martial Emperor. Martial Emperor. Martial Emperor. Come on Angel Team. In the audience, fans from both sides shouted and cheered for their side. Now it is a match between the representative team of the Chinese theater and the representative team of the Japanese team. Naturally, the Chinese audience and the Japanese audience are the largest in the audience. The score is currently 1-1. This third game is very important for both sides. From the current point of view, both teams want to compete for 3 points in the first round. If you score 3 points in the first round and win the second round and gain 5 points, you will win directly. Even if you lose the second round, the score will still be 3-7, and you can still play the third round deciding game. Both teams know this very well, so in this first round, everyone did not reserve their strength. Angel team, even Emperor Wu Miyamoto Takeshi played. It seems that Angel team will stabilize by 1 point, Japanese commentator Yamada said. His position was relatively neutral at first, but the more he spoke, the more he became more biased toward the Angels. The audience booed. Holy crap, what kind of explanation is this? As an official commentator, if you stand so clearly, aren't you afraid of being fired? 0 points, off. It's true that Takeshi Miyamoto is very strong, but aren't I, young Master Huang, strong? You, Takeshi Miyamoto, will definitely score 1 point when you come on the field, and you treat me, young Master Huang, as a human being. Master Huang. Little rubbish Japan, I'm afraid I have forgotten the fear that the entire Japanese war zone was dominated by Brother Shui and the others in the past few months. The Angel team is called the number 1 seed team to win the championship, but that's because at that time, there was only one second-level god, the demon Nanami, in the entire Taixu server. Now our brother Shui, Mr. Huang, is also a second-level god? What kind of dance do you little Japanese have? Yamada stood up for the team in a coquettish manner, which immediately made many Japanese spectators in the arena feel secretly happy. However, he angered all Chinese audiences. At this moment, countless Chinese spectators started shouting wildly, and the noise was horrifying, which made countless people on the field look at him, and even Yamada himself felt numb. The Chinese are so powerful in numbers that even the world must be courteous to others. Little did Yamada know that the moment he took his side, the official live broadcast room was flooded with barrages from Chinese viewers, all of whom told him to go back to his hometown. Mr. Yamada, as official commentators, our stance should remain neutral. For you to stand up so blatantly, it really loses your identity and loses the trust that the official and the audience have in us. Besides, although the Takeshi Miyamoto player is very strong, he is still a little worse than our Mr. Huang. Xiaomei's explanation suddenly made Xiaodong look at him and his scalp went numb. As a partner, Xiaodong knew that Xiaomei was a big fan of Brother Shui and Team Shui Meng. In the domestic qualifiers, she clearly took sides. For this reason, she was severely criticized several times by her superiors, and she almost lost her qualification to host and commentate in the World League. Now that the World League is about to start, Xiaodong has already reminded her to stay steady, not to take sides, not to make mistakes. She agreed. Originally, she could barely hold it back. But who knew, commentator Yamada would take the lead. At that moment, she seemed to have broken the seal and created the current situation. Xiaomei 666. Although Takeshi Miyamoto is very strong, he is still a little worse than Mr. Huang. What Xiaomei said is great, 23,333. Nice. Please add chicken drumsticks to Xiaomei's lunchbox. Thank you, leader. Excellent, Xiaomei is still the best. Those little Japanese who show off are numb. Xiaomei is now openly siding with the World League, which is undoubtedly a mistake on her career path. However, she has received unreserved praise from countless Chinese audiences. Okay, the exciting game will begin soon, let's all wait and see. After the two commentators Xiaomei Yamada openly took sides, fans on both sides also started arguing fiercely, making the scene full of chaos. Xiaodong said quickly. The countdown for the game did indeed begin, and the scene finally became much quieter. On the ring, Huang Mao and Takeshi Miyamoto stood opposite each other. Huang Mao was dressed in a yellow dragon robe, standing upright, with a yellow dragon gun on his shoulder, and he was as powerful as a dragon. Takeshi Miyamoto was dressed in a black dragon robe and holding a long sword, looking equally imposing. Call out. As the countdown ended, Miyamoto Takeshi laughed ferociously, stood up, and rushed towards Huang Mao with his sword. A series of black afterimages appeared behind him. It's so fast. The afterimages are almost solidified. It's much faster than angels and demons. Takeshi Miyamoto just moved around and didn't do anything. There was a roar in the audience. Exclamations. If the basic movement speed of a general second-level god is 150 points, then Miyamoto Takeshi has the blood of greedy wolf and starts with a movement speed of at least 450 points. His movement speed is too fast. In just a second or two, Miyamoto Takeshi swept to a distance of less than 5 yards in front of Huang Mao. With a sweep of his long sword, a black sword wave radiated forward. 10 miles of sword waves. Huang Mao was unable to dodge and was swept by the black sword wave. The blood bar above his head instantly dropped by 1/10. You know, Huang Mao is a second-level god, and he is also a dragon knight. Now his HP exceeds 1,000 trillion. After being hit by Miyamoto Takeshi's 10-mile sword wave, Huang Mao not only lost 100 trillion health, but also fell into a slow state for 5 seconds. This 10-mile sword wave itself is a large-scale slowing skill, and its percentage damage is not very high. This shows how terrifying Miyamoto Takeshi's combat power is. However, now that Huang Mao has endured a close-range attack within a 5-yard range, the Iron Backthorn Dragon and the Magic Dragon bloodline in his body are instantly activated. Thorns. Magic Reflection. Swish, 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 bang, Huang Mao was injured, and thorns and energy waves were instantly reflected in his body, backlashing on Miyamoto Takeshi. This kind of backlash cannot be dodged, that is, 100% hit. Miyamoto Takeshi was backlashed, and the health bar above his head instantly dropped by 30%. Thorns, double backlash. Magic Reflection, double backlash. This adds up to 4 times the backlash. Miyamoto Takeshi has the blood of the greedy wolf. His fighting power is extremely terrifying. He injured Huang Mao with one move, but he himself was attacked 4 times by the backlash. His greedy wolf blood is extremely powerful, all attributes are quite high, HP is as high as 1,500 trillion, but now he has lost 1/3 of his blood. Miyamoto Takeshi looked at Huang Mao in surprise. Unbelievable. All the audience at the scene were all stunned. What is going on? Huang Xiao didn't move, passively taking the beating. He didn't lose much blood, but Miyamoto Takeshi was hurt more. Xiaodong and Xiaomei were horrified and screamed exaggeratedly. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 660. The 4 times backlash of the yellow-haired man are all passive effects and cannot trigger the godly ring. Otherwise, with 10 times the real damage, Miyamoto Takeshi would have died directly. At this time, Miyamoto Takeshi's mind was still a little confused. However, the yellow-haired man was slowed down by the Tenli sword wave, and the speed difference between the two sides was huge at this time. Miyamoto Takeshi could not miss this opportunity. With a fixed look in his eyes, he pounced on the yellow-haired man again and slashed at the yellow-haired man with his sword. At this time, Miyamoto Takeshi's attack speed and speed were far higher than the yellow-haired man by several levels. Facing the former's attack, the latter could hardly dodge. Swish, 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 Miyamoto Takeshi slashed continuously. Puff, 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 bang, thorns and energy waves shot out of the yellow-haired man's body and backlashed. After one wave, Miyamoto Takeshi lost more blood again. Huh? Eternal, passive backlash effect, Miyamoto Takeshi was shocked. He originally thought that the backlash effect of the yellow-haired man was only a one-time effect. Who knew that as long as the yellow-haired man was passively beaten, he would directly backlash, and there was no limit to the number of times at all. What made Miyamoto Takeshi even more uncomfortable was that the passive backlash effect of the yellow-haired man was several times higher than his own combat power. How to fight this? Before I killed him, I was already shot to death, okay. Miyamoto Takeshi couldn't believe it and his scalp was numb. He had never expected that the yellow-haired man was so terrifying. Hey, the yellow-haired man grinned and waved his spear to sweep towards Miyamoto Takeshi. Miyamoto Takeshi's spiritual fire moved and dodged. At this time, Miyamoto Takeshi's speed was far higher than the yellow-haired man by several levels. As long as he wanted, it was almost impossible for him to be attacked by the yellow-haired man. The yellow-haired man didn't care, and chased him and stabbed and swept. Miyamoto Takeshi retreated continuously, and finally turned around and ran away. This wave quickly opened up a gap with the yellow-haired man. There was a booing in the stadium. Anyone could see that at this time, Miyamoto Takeshi's speed had an overwhelming advantage. With such an incredible advantage, Miyamoto Takeshi actually wanted to run away. He was so cowardly that he couldn't be more cowardly. But Miyamoto Takeshi had no choice. He attacked the yellow-haired man, but he lost more blood. What's the point of this? This passive backlash should have some kind of distance limit. But I'm a melee profession. Damn it, muddy water, yellow hair, why do these guys have to restrain me? Miyamoto Takeshi's brows were furrowed like a mountain, and his heart was boiling with anger. He is a hidden professional sword god. It is indeed a melee profession, but he also has some long-range skills. Draw the sword and cut. Miyamoto Takeshi quickly pulled 10 yards away from the yellow-haired man, put the long sword back into the sheath, and then suddenly pulled it out, instantly stimulating a sword wave and rushing forward. The yellow-haired man was injured again and lost 15% of his blood again. And this time, Miyamoto Takeshi did not suffer from the backlash. Sure enough, there is a distance limit. Miyamoto Takeshi snorted coldly and slashed another sword. Sword chi. This time it was a crescent-shaped sword energy in the vertical direction. Because it was vertical, its horizontal area was not large. Huang Mao turned around and dodged the sword energy, causing it to hit nothing. 10-mile sword wave, sword slash, sword energy. Miyamoto Takeshi only had a few long-range skills. Now that he had finished a set, Huang Mao didn't lose much blood, and he fell into a long CD. Be patient, now I have an absolute advantage in speed, and Huang Mao can't hurt me at all. If this continues, I will still be the winner, Miyamoto Takeshi said inwardly. In this battle, he was very frustrated, but still very confident. Next, Huang Mao chased Miyamoto Takeshi all over the field, but Huang Mao could never catch up with Miyamoto Takeshi. Occasionally, Miyamoto Takeshi would throw a long-range attack, causing Huang Mao to lose blood. As time passed, Miyamoto Takeshi regained the initiative on the field and gained the advantage again. Yinu Hongyan is in a tough fight. As the saying goes, the only way to defeat martial arts is to be fast. Yinu Hongyan's movement speed is far inferior to Wu Huang, and he can't cause any damage to Wu Huang at all. Although his passive backlash is powerful, it is a pity that there is a distance limit. Wu Huang also discovered this and used his movement speed to keep distance from him while constantly using long-range skills to consume him. According to this rhythm, the winner will belong to Wu Huang, Yamada commented. This time, he openly took sides again, which made Xiao Dong and Xiao Mei, the two commentators, and a large number of Chinese viewers feel unhappy. But everyone couldn't refute him. Because according to the current situation, Huang Mao is indeed difficult to turn the tables. Man. Before the game, he said that I should take a good look at his strength, but now he is in a tough fight. Fortunately, he can barely win this game and get 1 point. The demon girl Nanami looked down at the court with disdain in her beautiful eyes. But even though she disdainful, she now knows that Miyamoto Takeshi has an absolute advantage, and if nothing unexpected happens, he can win. At this time, she no longer has the interest to watch, and her eyes look through the ring and cast to Yang Tian on the opposite side. Now the situation is still under her control. Miyamoto Takeshi defeated Huang Mao. She defeated Yang Tian. Then in the first round, the Angel team won 3 points and completely stabilized the advantage. Rising Dragon Transformation Second Stage. Just when the battle was deadlocked and countless fans were worried about Huang Mao, Huang Mao suddenly transformed into a human-shaped golden dragon, holding a spear, and his aura instantly expanded by who knows how many times. The rolling dragon power turned into substantial golden airwaves, radiating the entire venue. Even across the arena, it still made countless spectators tremble in their hearts. Yes. Huang Xiao still has the blood of the dragon, the trump card of the dragon transformation. Xiaodong's eyes lit up, and he shouted excitedly, inspiring everyone. Yamada, the commentator, was dissatisfied and snorted, dragon transformation, all attributes doubled, so what, can his speed exceed that of the martial emperor? Swish. As soon as Yamada finished speaking, Huang Mao crushed the floor with 1 foot and rushed out with a gun. His speed was so fast that a series of golden after-images were left behind. Xiaodong, Xiaomei, Yamada, and others, as well as countless spectators at the scene, all gasped. At this time, Huang Mao's speed soared. Although it was not necessarily faster than Miyamoto Takeshi, it was definitely not slower than Miyamoto Takeshi. They didn't know at all that Huang Mao was not using the dragon transformation, but the second stage of the rising dragon transformation, all attributes add 200%. It is equivalent to triple all attributes, and the speed will naturally triple. Miyamoto Takeshi was horrified and turned around to run away. He knew that he must not let the yellow-haired man get close to him. Charge. However, the yellow-haired man instantly pulled out a golden light and suddenly appeared in front of Miyamoto Takeshi. Miyamoto Takeshi choked and tightly grasped the long sword in his hand, wanting to cut it with the sword. But he knew that the yellow-haired man's attributes were now against the sky, and his combat power could not cause effective damage to the yellow-haired man. On the contrary, if he fought in close combat, he would be counterattacked. With this thought, Miyamoto Takeshi endured it and planned to take the yellow-haired man's move and then think of other ways. Gale stab.